SPMO did it again. It hit an all-time high as we ended our trading week on Thursday, June 18th, 2026. It hit a high of $160.65. When it comes to my personal investment into SPMO, I'm currently at 194.9 shares and I'm up 34.12%, showing me that momentum is doing its job, exactly what it set out to do. And it's doing it quite beautifully, capturing the gains, the moves of these top companies. So today we're going to take a look at some things that changed in the market that gave this ETF a boost. Let's get into it. You'll enjoy this one if you're a growth investor like me. After building out my positions into my basic core foundational ETFs like FXAIX, I've been working on incorporating investments like this into my portfolio. So SPMO is Invesco's S&P 500 Momentum ETF. I started investing into it in late 2025, and it was trading pretty sideways, rather range bound there for a little bit, but now it's really taken off. And I was sharing updates when I got started because that's what I do over here. I share the wins and everything in between as I'm on my journey to build up my positions. Transparency is everything, and we all have a different starting point. The gains do not come overnight. So what happened this week? A few reasons hit that high are rising rate cut expectations, great for our growth stock. There's been a strong rotation into tech, industrials, as well as energy. And these are all areas that SPMO has rotated into. Looking at a couple of the names in the top 10, Micron up 8.7%, Nvidia up about 3%, Broadcom up 4.7%, AMD up about 5%. So this is showing us that AI and semiconductors are showing strength, especially through these names, which have become SPMO's largest holdings. 50% of the fund is weighted into the companies that I just mentioned, and a few others like Johnson & Johnson and Google. And for any of you that are new to learning about this fund, it has an expense ratio of 0.13%. It's been continuously beating the S&P 500. It's not trying to predict the future. It simply owns the stocks, 100 of them from that S&P 500 that are showing the strongest price movement over the past 6 to 12 months. It adjusts for the volatility basically twice a year. It keeps the winners. It sells the companies that are starting to slow down, just like a sports team, only keeping the best players that are currently on that winning streak. When it comes to the holdings of this fund, the concentration into these companies is why SPMO can move fast when those leaders are winning. So, as I've already said, SPMO has been beating the S&P 500 across the board. It's been around for a little over 10 years now, and it's shining right now because of those rate cuts. Clear sector leadership of the top funds, especially when it comes to AI and technology. The market is rewarding companies that are actually delivering strong results, leading to the price action that SPMO captures for us. I didn't jump in all at once, just like many other positions in my portfolio. I've been dollar cost average, little by little, many days, just buying 0.1 share and going heavier when I was seeing those prices that I liked between $112 and $120. But right now, those days are gone. We've hit a high over $160 and ended the week at $159.90. So this is something that I've incorporated to boost my portfolio, to beat the market standard. I have a substantial investment into the S&P 500 as well as the total U.S. stock market, so I can handle the volatility of a fund like this. Have patience to wait for it to rebalance and bring in those funds that have us on track to continuously beat the S&P 500. So what I share here is never a suggestion for what you should buy, hold, or sell. I am not a financial advisor. You have to make the right choices for your portfolio. This is just my approach, as well as the results that I've been achieving. There are thousands of ETFs and mutual funds out there, and we're going to take a look at a couple of other momentum ETFs. Momentum is powerful, but it's not perfect. I've already touched on some of those risks, those time periods when it was going sideways, when the market was choppy. So you have to choose the position size of funds like this that work for your risk tolerance, the stability that you want to see on your journey to grow your portfolio. So like I said, there are many momentum ETFs out there. I'm comparing SPMO to a couple that I just came across. VFMO, which is Vanguard's US Momentum Factor ETF, and MMTM, which is the State Street Momentum ETF. They both have similar or nearly identical expense ratios as well as dividend yields. But looking at the performance, which is the blue line for SPMO, we can see that it's been beating these other funds. And looking at them on the chart, over the last 5 years, SPMO is up about 197%, VFMO is up about 100%, and MMTM is up about 88%. I added in VOO just for reference of a basic S&P 500 investment, and it's up about 90% over the last 5 years. So SPMO is an aggressive fund, and it's also giving the highest potential upside when comparing it to other momentum ETFs. Here's a look at it against two others, MTUM, an iShares Momentum Factor ETF, and QUAL, an iShares Quality Factor ETF. Again, very close when it comes to expense ratio and dividend yield, but long-term, SPMO is beating these funds also. On the 5-year, again, SPMO up about 197%, MTUM is up 114%, and QUAL is up about 77%. There are other funds out there that are slightly more conservative, focus on high quality companies that have strong fundamentals, but this is a long-term hold for me, so I'm okay with waiting for the recovery if needed, for that rebalancing and those time periods of higher volatility. I like that it's focused on the trend strength. If AI, semiconductors, whatever sector, whatever area is thriving, currently performing the best, it's going to capture that for me. And this is what I love. Out what's slowing down and in what's on track for that higher growth. So what am I doing next? I'm continuing to build on my position. I'll be back soon to share an update when I hit that 200 share mark. Looking back over the last 10 years of history, as well as the position that I've built up so far in less than 1 year, I see SPMO as a great fit for my portfolio. And I know I am a long-term investor that can handle the swings. I have my anchor. I want the sales that are going to get my portfolio moving more quickly in the way that I am comfortable with. And SPMO is doing that for me. If you're new here, welcome. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, hype my videos. Always leave me questions and comments on anything that I shared in the video. Check out my referrals. They'll be in the description and pinned in the comments. I am Lisa J. Stocks, and over here, we are focused on building wealth through investing and being on track for a better financial future. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.